Well, hello, welcome again to a reading through of Iliad Book 9, and I got up to line 114. So in the earlier passage we heard Nestor giving a fairly abrupt speech to Agamemnon and telling him it was time to make amends with Achilles. And surprisingly, in some ways, Agamemnon gives in. He says, yes, I've done the wrong thing. And then he offers quite an amazing range of redress to Achilles, although oddly enough he doesn't name him, he refers to him obliquely throughout his entire speech here. So he agrees to make amends, and he says, ton dauti prosie pen anaxandron Agamemnon. So Agamemnon, lord of men, addressed him in return. O Geron, O old man, not in any way false have you, well, it's cognate with our word catalogue, katelexas, have you almost listed my reckless acts. From arte, it's a funny word. I'll leave the commentators to expound it further, but here I'm going to translate it as reckless acts. So not in any way false have you listed my reckless acts. Aasamen, this is from aao, which in the middle has the sense of to act foolishly, to err. So I have done the wrong thing, I have erred, nor do I myself aneinamai, nor do I myself deny it. Anti nu polone laon estinane hon tetsius keri philese. Now this is a generalizing statement here, and so we get this generalizing te in here, which we often get. So, so it's a man whom Zeus might love in his heart. That man is probably something like worth here. So worth many laon, worth many peoples, worth a great host. So now this is Zeus, has honoured Teuton, him. This of course is Achilles. As I mentioned, he doesn't mention Achilles by name in this. So now Zeus has honoured this man, but he has tamed the people of the Achaeans. But since, there's that verb again from o in the middle, since I have erred, having trusted in my something like shameful mind or shameful wits, I wish aresi from aresko, to please, to appease. So it can mean to please. In later Greek, in Homer, it seems to be more in the sense of to appease, and to give back boundless ransom. To give back boundless ransom. Get this sorted here. And among all of you, this is from the verb onomino, and this could be a future or it could be an aorist subjunctive. I think people take it as an aorist subjunctive actually, so it's sort of hortatory. Let me name. So let me list, in fact, these very famous gifts among you all. So I'm going to publicly tell you all of these amazing gifts, these astonishing gifts. 7 tripods are purus, unfired, that is, which have not experienced fire. 10 talents of gold, 20 sparkling lebetas, something like ewers, it's often translated. I think they're meant to be cooking pots or something. 12 horses, which are prize winning from athlon, and the for root from pharaoh in the middle has the sense of to win. The pagus is, the meaning is uncertain. Some ancient commentators said it meant white, others black. So I'm just going to translate it as stout, which I think will do as good as any. So 12 prize-winning stout horses who win, or won, really it's past tense, isn't it? Who won prizes with their feet, that is, with their swift feet. Nor would a man be a leilos. Now this is probably alpha privative. There is a word leion meaning a crop, so it means without, just translated generally here as poor or beggarly. In other words, a man who doesn't have a plot of land to till and so on, but I think it just comes to mean poor. So a man would not be poor for whom such things were. So a man who had such things would not be poor. Nor would he be aktemon, alpha privative again, unpossessed of very expensive gold. You get the eri plus the timios or timos root. Very precious, perhaps might be better there. So nor would he be unpossessed or not possessed of very precious gold. As many prizes as these horses, their single-hoofed horses, have won for me. This is from that same root, the amenkon root from pharaoh, and it's a middle, how it's got that idea of winning. And I will give 7 women knowing noble tasks. I generally translate amumona as noble rather than blameless, so noble tasks. Lesbian women whom ex Elome, this is the middle from ekhyria, whom I chose out, when he himself, this is now Achilles, when he himself took, this is the same verb but in the active and uncompounded, when he himself took well-founded Lesbos, and who, well, we might say surpass, literally were conquering the tribes of women in their beauty. It's a dative from Kalos. So I'll just do that again quickly there. So I will give 7 women who know noble works, lesbian women, whom I chose out when that man, when he himself, of course is Achilles, took well-founded Lesbos. They who literally were conquering, you might say, surpassed the tribes of women in beauty. These I will give Hoi to him. Again, there's no mention of his name. And afterwards, there will be this girl, this daughter of Briseus, this is the priest, this is a genitive here, the daughter of Briseus, whom once I took away from whom once I took away from him. But this is a future here, omumai from omnumi, but I will swear in addition the great oath that never did I mount her bed, never did I set foot on her bed, in her bed, nor did I have intercourse with her, which is, this is that use of pello again, which is the custom of human beings, of men and women. Tautamen autika panta parasitai. All these things will be immediately. So all these things will be present from parami. So all these things will be here forthwith. And if again the gods might grant, understand us, or might grant that the great city of Priam, or might grant us. This is from alapazdo, literally means to drain or to empty, but often used in the sense of destroy. So if, again, the gods might grant us, understood, to destroy the great city of Priam, then, let's go to the next page. Just put a bit sharper there. So nea halis chrysu kai kolku ne a sastho eselthone. Then he, entering or going on board, literally entering into his ship. This is an aorist middle imperative from the verb neo, meaning there's quite a few neos you'll see in the dictionaries. This one is to pile up or to heap up. So he, having gone on board his ship, let him, third person imperative, let him pile it up with sufficient of gold and bronze. When we Achaeans might, well, it's almost dish out the later, the spoils. This is from Datiamai. So whenever we might dish out the spoils, and let him choose. It's that middle again. Let he himself choose 20 Trojan women, who might be, with the ke, the most beautiful after Argive Helen. So he can't have Helen, of course, but after her he's going to get to choose the 20 most beautiful women and among the Trojans, if we might come, optative here, to Achaean Argos, to Argos in Achaea, the Altha Arures, funny expression. Utha is the udder, in fact it's cognate with our word udder in English, of an animal, and it's the udder of the cultivated land. So we might just translate the whole thing as fertile land, but it's very poetic here. He would be a son-in-law to me, and I will honour him, it's future there, equal to Orestes, that's his own son, of course, who is being nourished for me, te lugetos, one of those words whose derivation is uncertain, generally translated as favourite son, or some people translate it of tender age. So who is looked after for me as a favourite son, that was his only son, in much abundance. For there are 3 daughters in the hall, in my well-made hall. This is you plus Pake from Paganumi, well fitted together, well put together hall. Now, interesting, he lists these 3 here: Chrysothemis and Laodike and Ephianassa. He doesn't mention the other daughter, Electra. And if this Ephianassa is to be identified with Iphigenia, then that's very strange, because in the myth Agamemnon put Iphigenia to death before he left for Troy, so she'd hardly be still waiting back there for him. So I leave the commentators to discuss all this, but we get this mention of the 3 daughters, of whom whomever he wishes, let him lead. This is ago in the middle, used in the sense of to take as bride. The philein is the old sense of philos, meaning one's own, so it's something like to be his own, without a bride price, without paying a dowry, if you can call it that, if men have to give dowries. But so of whomever he wishes, let him lead off to be his own without a bride price to the house of Peleus. And I will give, the epi here almost goes with the dose, so I'll give in addition malia. It's a funny word, it probably connected with meli, honey, and melisso, to soften, generally translated gifts of reconciliation. I think we have expressions in English now for things you give to companies to smooth the deal. This is the ancient equivalent to it. And I will give very many of them, as many as not yet has any man given to his daughter. This is the personal adjective here with Thurgaptry. And I will give 7 well-inhabited citadels, Cardamulain, Enopain, Tekai, Hirain, Poiesan. So Cardamulae, Enope, and Grassy Hira. Pheras, a sacred Pheras, and Anthea, the flowery place, which is Bathurleman, which has deep meadows, and beautiful Ithea, probably something to do with being steep, perhaps, and Pedasus with its vineyards. Now the commentators point out here that these 7 towns are in southern Messenia and they're not near Mycenae, so the poet's here presenting Agamemnon as though he were in control of the entire Peloponnesos, and hence inviting Achilles to become a minor prince within his kingdom. Notice also, interesting line 150, there are 3 things mentioned. The first 2 are just named with no epithet, and the third one gets an epithet there. It's embellished. This apparently was a common phrase within the poem. Common thing within the poem. So you get 2 of them named, the third one with an epithet. These ones just get epithets, and these also get epithets. All of these are near the sea, furthest from sandy Pylos. This root here, it's not related to neos, new, it means furthest or lowest. It's connected with an old Indo-European root cognate with Sanskrit ni, which is cognate with our word beneath. The ni and beneath is from the same root apparently, meaning down. So furthest away from sandy Pylos. And in it, or in them, men dwell who have many flocks, poluranes, and many oxen, who will honour him, again never mentions his name, will honour him with gifts like a god. And a funny expression here, Teleusi, it's literally, will fulfill rich ordinances under the scepter, which must mean something like they will live in prosperity, but they will be obedient. They will follow the Themistas, the ordinances under the scepter and under his authority, something like that. And I will fulfill these things for him. I would fulfill these things for him, and then for him, and this is from Metalasso, having ceased from his anger. To me theto, a nice aorist passive imperative, probably from the root from damazdo or damno. Let him be tamed, literally, so like our expression, let him come to heel. And then we just get this little side bit here. The editor's put some dashes here. So for Hades is relentless. There's no soothing in him. He's relentless and untamed, or untamable perhaps. And on account of this, so to Heneca, on account of this also understand he is the most hated of all the gods for mortals. And hypostato, again it's the third person imperative, let him be subject to me. Hosan and Hosan, it's almost to the inasmuch as I am more kingly, and inasmuch as I boast to be older in birth. So in other words, I'm older than him and I am more kingly. And that was the conciliatory speech then of Agamemnon. And in the next section, Nestor is going to select some envoys to go to Achilles to bring this offer to him.